Мы прекрасно понимаем, что сегодня из Финляндии делают вторую Украину. Эти процессы невозможно не замечать. Да, мы вышли из договора по приграничному сотрудничеству. Но сегодня те настроения, которые разогреваются в рамках Финляндии, я специально дал помощникам задачу посмотреть, что пишут финны, там же ужас. Они все радостно рассказывают, что Петрозаводск наш и все остальное. Это сегодня происходит.
All right, Shalom. I'd like to start up by saying, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakak Wadash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles, the great millstone of my elder, her one as well. Salutations to the argument that are pushing the truth, the sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, I'm Khanak Sa'an Ban Yasha from the Lions Den of Yasha camp. This is another Lions Den news and prophecy. And this article says, it's a Newsweek article, and it says, Russian TV identifies Putin's possible next target, second Ukraine. And what it says is going into Ezekiel, well, really like Revelations 13, the bear being the end of the thing, and that bear is going to be equipped enough to come against the beast, which is NATO, well, a conglomerate of NATO and the United States and the EU, but ultimately being enough to take down that system, to go against the beast. And so really, ultimately, we've been saying for all along, the real war with Ukraine is like a proxy war between Russia and NATO. And what the Lord Yahweh Shai is doing is building the Soviet Union back up, or the USSR back up. All right, because it kind of crumbled in the late 80s, early 90s, and it was purposely done. It's like it. You had several events that happened that crushed the Soviet Union's economy and forced the breakup of the Soviet Union, and ultimately, some of those countries were fled into NATO to seek refuge. And Russia was cool with it at first, and they said that as long as you don't continue to push west or east, but NATO and the United States continue to push east. And so therefore, back in 2014, I want to say it was, when they annexed Crimea, right? Now, 2021, 20, or whatever happened, you had, or 22, you have them trying to do the same thing with Ukraine, when those are Russian people there. If I'm not mistaken, they speak the same language. So we've been saying all along, this is a war between Russia and NATO and the United States. And because Ukraine is right there at the back door of Russia. So once talks were about Ukraine joining NATO, Putin had no choice but to protect Russia. But that would have been the downfall of Russia itself if they would have if they wouldn't have did this. So now this article is explaining another possible situation, or another possible war kicking off between Russia and another country that has, according to this article, has joined NATO. All right. So Lord willing, this lesson edify and serve His purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So the article says, Andrei Gorulyov, a former Russian military commander and current lawmaker, suggested on state TV that NATO member Finland could be Russian President Vladimir Putin's next target after Ukraine. Now, and if the way you see a narrative being painted in the media, they make it seem like Russia over there getting mopped. But if Russia was truly getting mopped over there in Ukraine, why would there be talks or even thoughts of somebody being the next target? They wouldn't have enough money or resources to fight. They're building their economical resources by joining the BRICS, and ultimately going to be the ones that are controlling what's going on in the Middle East, because Like the elder said Saturday when we were teaching that this war right here, that war in Israel is called the war in the Middle East is causing America to lose those OPEC nations. So if NATO and America is no longer controlling the petroleum in the Middle East, who is? Or not even that. If they're closing it themselves, what does that do to America? It shuts America down financially. So because that's what the dollar was pegged to. So if they're not controlling it, these other countries are going to be using other currencies and gold and silver to trade for their petroleum. All right. It says it's like you're a little under the weather. It says Finland joined the NATO military alliance this year in response to Putin's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. So what Finland did, it rushed to NATO, they rushed to seek refuge from the beast, right? As Yahweh Bashim Shai is equipping the bear up to take down the beast. You see, that's Yahweh Bashim Shai mustering up the host of the battle. He's using divine intervention to create what's going on as we see it today, to go according to his word. All right. If he spoke it, it shall be done. All right. It says Russia and Finland share an 800-mile border. So now the fact that Finland is now a part of NATO, right? They have a border that stretches 800 miles. That's a long way. So that's what Russia is trying to prevent from happening. NATO being all slapped back into their back door and trying to dictate and handle everything and really pretty much uh, uh, take Russia out, really, because Russia and China are the only real threats to the United States and NATO. I mean, you got Iran and North Korea, but they don't have enough. They don't have what it takes, but Russia does, right? And Yahweh Bashim Shai has set it up that way. The Lord set up all these rulers on the earth. That you can go to that according to what is that Second Ezra, not Second Ezra. What is it? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, if I'm not mistaken. Chapter 6. I'm not sure what it is. We can get it in a minute. But all this rulership that's going on the earth, the rulers are set up by Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. I had to go ahead and get it. So it is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 1. It says, "Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Give ear that ye rule the people in glory in the multitude of nations." It says, "For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels." And the counsel that the Lord is searching out right now is the hidden counsel of the wicked, right? And he's going to bring all the wicked together and Yahweh Shabbat, meaning Yahweh's judgment, to judge the nations, man, according to their works. And we see the works of wickedness all over the earth that was brought forth by these judges. So everything that we see happening right now, right, is being is being is being scaled out by Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai and his holy angels. That's explained in Revelation chapter 7, where they're holding back the winds, basically until all prophecies are fulfilled. As they fulfill, they let more and more and more winds go. So like it says, a fire is off sent out. Who can quench it, or who can, or if an arrow is shot off, who could turn it back? So there's nothing these nations are going to be able to do. No council, no peace treaty, no good negotiation that could be done to stop what Yahweh Shema Shai plans to bring forth. All right. So going back to the article, it says Garulyov, the former deputy commander of the Southern Military District, made the comments during an appearance on state TV channel Russia One. An expert of the segment was posted on X, formerly Twitter, by BBC monitoring reporter Francis Scott. And that's the clip that I played in the beginning. He like, yeah, y'all see what it's turning into. That's what he's explaining. Y'all see what this is turning into. You can't, and you seen the kind of like can't even describe the looks that they were giving, but a look of wanting to be naive or be in disbelief, but understanding that that's not an option. This is really what it's coming down to, and like a little sense of defeat, you know, because there's nothing that they can do to stop what's happening from happening. It says Russian MP Andrei Garulyov says that Finland is being turned into a second Ukraine and claims that Finns increasingly have territorial claims on Patrozavdask. Whoa. Wrote Scar, sharing a 27-second clip on the state TV broadcast. And that's what I played from the beginning. All right. It says the city of Petrozavsk, the capital of the Russian Republic of Karelia, is located some 108 miles from Finland's border. The Soviet Union seized the Republic of Finland, seized the Republic from Finland in the 1940s. All right. So yeah. So now some of the so I guess that's one of the territories that the Soviet Union didn't lose at the collapse of the Soviet Union. But ultimately, from the collapse of the Soviet Union, the Lord's going to bring them back together, accompanied with a band of armies with heavy military arsenal that America and NATO is not going to be able to do nothing with. And ultimately, it's going to make the European Union and NATO turn against the whore, which is America, Babylon the Great. It says in September, Finnish public service broadcaster Yle reported that Russia has been developing its military base in Petrozavsk. We understand very well that they're turning Finland into a second Ukraine. All right. It says it's impossible not to notice these processes, said Garulyov. It said today the moves are being heated up within Finland. I gave my aides a specific instruction to look at the Finns or look at what the Finns are writing, and it is awful. They're saying joyously that Patrozavskov is ours, and all the rest of it, he added. So basically, right, so you got Finland, which is joined with NATO, that's flexing their muscles. Like, hey, we coming to get that back. You took it from us in the 40s, we coming to get it back. See all the conflicts are being stirred up? That's being stirred up by Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, ultimately, man. It says earlier this month, independent Russian investigative publication Agentskovo said a new presidential decree suggests that Moscow could be gearing up for a standoff with Finland and the Baltic states. It says the Russian Ministry of Defense prepared a presidential decree that would deprive Russia's northern fleet of its status as an inter-Pacific strategic territorial association. It would transfer its four constituent regions, the Komi Republic, Arkhangelsk, and Murmansk Oblast, and the Nunets um, Anonymous Okra. It's hard to read this stuff. It says to the reformed Leningrad military district. It says Russian military analyst Yuri Fedorov told Agilivisto that the recreation of the Leningrad military district suggests that Russia is preparing for possible conflicts with the Baltic states and NATO. And it's not preparing. And we've been talking about this. Like the scripture says in Revelations, who can make war with the beast? In Revelation 13. Like everybody was astonished about this great beast, this great big beast, military arsenal beast. So we're like, who is going to be able to stand up against it? And not only that, the beast is saying the same thing. Who can stand up against us? But Yahweh Shemel Shai is gonna raise Russia up. It's gonna raise the whole Soviet Union up to come against the beast. That's known as the bear in Revelation 13. It says the Leningrad military district stationed close to new NATO member Finland and the Baltic state is a key component of the Russian armed forces to oversee parts of the nation's defense strategy in Russia's western region. So ultimately, they're taking more tactics and more precautions to prevent NATO from moving eastward again by doing what they're doing with Ukraine. And it looks like next, it's going to be Finland. All right, I'm gonna close out with this. It's Revelation chapter 9, verse 12. It says, "One woe is past." Right. So we had ultimately, World War I is past. Right. And it says, "Behold, there come two woes more hereafter," man. So that's going into World War II, which already has happened. I think it was 1948 to 1953 or something like that. Hold on, let me see. All right, so I got the 1945 right, but it was a 6-year war. The second is like one war is past, behold, two more wars come hereafter. So 1939 to 1945 was World War II. And what we're witnessing happening right now, being stirred up by Yahweh Shem Shai, is World War III. All right, it's inevitable. There's nothing they can do to stop it. This is called what they call the divine intervention at its finest, man. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and serve His purpose with that of like Sekah Halayim, like Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harikak Wadash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, my elder Herawan as well. Salutations to the argument that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.